right? Whenever we see a plus or a minus in between our exponents, what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to split and factorize. Okay, we're going to split and factorize. Okay, now I know that everything over here does not have the same base. Which number can I change? What can I change 25 to? How else can I write 25, guys? Thank you, Funzo, 100%. We're going to change 25 to 5 squared. So I'm going to end up with 5 to the power of 2 multiplied by that x plus 1 over there. So I'm going to distribute. I'm going to end up over here with 5 to the power of 2x plus 2. That's what I'm going to end up with over there. And I'm just doing that step on the side so that when we actually split, we're not doing 3 steps. We're only doing 2. All right, here's my next step. I'm going to split the top. I'm going to go 5 to the power of 2x minus 5 to the power of 2x times 5 to the power of 2 over, let's do the bottom. I now know that 25 to the power of x plus 1 is actually 5 to the power of 2x plus 2. So I'm going to split it into 5 to the power of 2x times 5 to the power of 2 minus 5 to the power of 2x. That's the split part done. Now let's factorize. What kind of factorization are we going to use here, guys? What kind of factorization do we see? Ooh, it's not going to be dots, Kellen. Look carefully. Correct, Nico. That's it. It's highest common factor. Correct. What is my highest common factor? No worries, Neo. Welcome. Not just 5, Aquando. Not just 5. Correct. Well, it's not actually 5x squared. Good as Bonge. It's 5 to the power of 2x, but we'll take it. Right. We're going to take out 5 to the power of 2x. If I take that out, I'm going to have 1 minus 5 to the power of 2. And at the bottom, I'm also going to take 5 to the power of 2x out as a common factor. And I will have 5 to the power of 2 minus 1 left. My 5 to the power of 2x's will cancel. What do I have left as an answer over here, guys? I know I'm going to get, at the top, I'm going to get 1 minus 5 squared is 25 over 5 squared is 25 minus 1. What is that answer there? Okay, Tyrika, can I ask you, if you're not too shy, if you can just put up your hand and explain to me what you mean? Or if you can type it out and try and explain to me where that minus 1 we're speaking about comes from. Okay, here's a bonus question. This comes from one of our kids' exams. Okay, have a look at it. Okay, while I wait for Tarika to ask me her question, there it is. I want you guys to have a look. Okay, have a look at it and tell me what you think. All right, hi Tarika.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, my sweetie, where did I lose you?
Ma'am, I'm talking about where you factorized 5 to the power 2x, you put in brackets 1 minus 5 squared. Why is it not negative 1?
Okay, because this is a positive 5 to the power of 2x. Okay, I'll show you the difference. Let me show you the difference.
Okay.
If I say to you, I've got 2x minus 4x squared over 4x squared minus 2x. What do we take out on the top?
2x.
Good. If I take out 2x, what do I have left in my bracket?
1 minus 2x.
Exactly. At the bottom, what do I take out?
2x.
Good. And what do I have at the bottom?
2x minus 1.
Minus 1. Okay. So it's
okay.
What I've done. But because this 5 to the power of 2x is positive, I'm only going to get a 1 out, not a minus 1. Okay.
Oh, I see now. Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome. Good question. Start off easy today. All right. We're just going to be looking at the equation of a straight line. Right. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're going to be able to answer these 3 questions all by yourself. Thumbs down if not. Are we all good to answer this question ourselves? I've got 1 thumbs up. Thanks, Jenna. Hello, Jenna. Hi, Cassidy. Well done. Good, Nico. All right, I'm gonna give everybody a couple of minutes, and then I'm gonna mute so that I can blow my nose, because now I just sound like I'm underwater. I can't breathe. So I'm gonna blow my nose. You guys do what you gotta do, and then we'll come back. Okay. All right, guys. Favorite emoji in the chat when you're ready. Okay. And as always, Funzo first out of the gate. Guys, Funzo is a machine. I just have to say. Funzo always just on point. Beautiful. Ooh. I should have muted for that. That sounded terrible. Sure, Asbonge, that's quite the emoji. I like Cassidy's one. It's like Cassidy feels so nice about getting all the answers right. I love it. All right, I think we've all pretty much got this one on lock. I'm just going to do the answers. I want to see if everybody else is with me. All right, it says here, and if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to pop your questions in the chat or raise your hand. I'm happy to address them. All right, it says here, a straight line graph is defined by 4x plus 2y minus 8. I can already tell from the jump, this is not what I want. What is my gradient? What is my y-intercept? I don't know. It's not in the correct way that I want. Now, the first question says, write down the equation in standard form. Now, I know that I want my standard form to be y is equal to mx plus c. No worries, Samuel, I'm doing the answer right now. Teacher Nels, can you help Moeketsi out, please? Okay, so I know that I want y all on its own. So I'm going to take 4x over to the other side, and I'm going to end up with 2y is equal to negative 4x minus 8. And I don't want 2y, I want y. So I'm going to divide everywhere by 2. And that's going to give me y is equal to negative 2x minus 4. All right. This is actually a 2-mark question, 1 mark there, 1 mark there. All right. It says, question B says, determine the x-intercept of the graph. At the x-intercept, y is equal to 0. Right? So I'm going to then, oh my goodness, 1 second. Whew. Okay, I'm going to replace y with 0. Okay, so I'm going to go 0 equals negative 2x minus 4, and then I'm going to solve for x. So I will take the negative 4 over to the other side and become positive 4. So I will have 4 equals negative 2x. Divide both sides by negative 2, negative 2. Therefore, x is equal to negative 2. 2 marks as well. 1 for making y equal 0, 1 for solving for x. All right, last one. Y-intercept, x is equal to 0. But we already know by now, guys, that we can just look at our equation and we will know what the y-intercept is. The y-intercept is negative 4. Okay, therefore, y-intercept is equal to negative 4, 1 mark. 1 mark. Tell me, how much did we get out of 5, guys? Tell me in the chat, how much did we get out of 5? Beautiful, Nico. That's it, Funzo. That's it, Tyrika. I just want to see 5s all around. I hope we're all happy. Okay. Excellent. Good. Your last step in this question is to draw the graph showing all your intercepts. Anna, how did we get 4? What did we mess up? Hello, Anna. Didn't even get to say hi to Anna. Hi, Anna. All right, sketch, guys. It should take us all 1 minute. Okay, you can pop me a done or a thumbs up in the chat when you're done, because it shouldn't take us too long. Ah, okay, I see. That's okay, my sweetie, that's okay. We're learning. It's a good thing we're making those mistakes now and here and not while we're actually writing a test or exam. Okay, class is the time for mistakes. All right, peeps. Okay, let's have a look at this. Remember, we've already found our intercepts, which makes this so much easier. We know that our x-intercept is at -2 and our y-intercept is at -4. We only need 2 points to draw a straight line graph. So we're just going to take a ruler and join our 2 lines. And that's it. And that's it. We are done. That's all we needed. Well done, guys. Okay. I had someone else in the other class talk about how we write the coordinates. I know some of your teachers are picky, so let's actually do it. -2 and 0, 0 and -4, and just for OCD's sake, we're also going to give them the equation of the graph, -2x minus 4. To make sure we cover all the bases, then there isn't that one teacher who can come and be like, you didn't write the equation. No. Okay. We want to make sure that we're not giving them a chance to minus a mark from us. All right. Okay, give me a thumbs up. Are we all okay with the equation of a straight line? Are we good? Excellent. Good. Let's look at our next two questions. Okay, I'm actually going to give you guys three questions because I like all three of them. Let me move this one up a little. And this one up. Okay, there we go. Move this one up. All right, we're doing questions A1 and B1 and 2. Okay, take it away, guys. If you're stuck and you don't know where to start, you can message me, you can DM me or Teacher Nelly, and we're happy to help. Oh, no worries. All right, Cassidy, that's okay. I'm going to help you out. Okay. Lwandile, follow along with what I'm doing, and good luck for tomorrow. Lwandile is writing EGD tomorrow. Okay, cool. All right, let's start with A. For those of you who know what's going on, go for it. Okay, now let's look over here. They've given us a function of g of x. Yes, the function is g of x. But we notice over here that they're asking us to determine the value of g of minus 1. What's the difference between that part over there and this part over there? They're actually the same, but they've just replaced something with something. What have they replaced? What have they replaced, guys?
Miss, they replace the x. They put -1 in the place of x.
Good, beautiful, good. So what they actually want from us is to go into the actual function they've given us, and wherever we see an x in the function, what are we going to replace it with?
Oh, we'll substitute the -1 into the x.
100%, beautiful. I don't even know who I'm talking to, but they're talking sense. Is make sure, 100%. Good. Who is it?
Cassidy.
Is it Cassidy? Beautiful, Cassidy. 100%. So we're going to go g of -1 is equal to -2. Ooh, there's an x. So I'm going to open brackets, replace my x with -1, close brackets, squared -1. And I'm going to find an answer. That's all they want. All right. Pop your answer in the chat once you've got it for me. Okay. It's not one, Bunolo. Be very, very careful. To make sure we don't make a mistake, punch it into a calculator. That's it, Cassidy. That's it, Asbonge. Good, Nico. My answer is -3. So basically what they're saying, guys, is in this function, when my x value is -1, my y value will come out as -3. So I've actually created a coordinate here. My coordinate is -1, -3. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Beautiful. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good. It is actually quite easy, Lwandile. It is. We just need to make sure we're interpreting what they've said correctly. Okay, I'm going to scroll up a little bit so we can do the next one. Okay, now in this question over here, we're going to notice, did they replace the h of x over here? Yes or no? Did they replace h? Did they replace the x with anything? Oh, Asbonge, have a look. Did they? Cassidy's saying no. No, they didn't, because they gave us h of x and h of x. They didn't really replace anything with anything else, right? But in this step over here, they're telling us that they want us to make h of x equal to what? What must h of x equal to? Correct, Nico. We must replace the whole of h of x with 20. So in this equation that they've given us, wherever we see h of x, we're going to replace it with 20. We're going to replace it with 20. So my new equation will then be 20 is equal to x squared minus 5. What am I solving for now? What am I solving for? Correct, Asbonge. Good, Cassidy, that's it, Nyeleti. We are now solving for x. Can we all do that? I'm sure we all can. Yes, just isolate x squared and find me an answer for x, please. Pop your answer in the chat when you're done. Not just 5, Asbonge, be very, very careful. I understand why many of you are saying 5, but Nico, you are a whole G, my dude. Yes, that's it. That's it, Mahlatsi. All right, yes, go good. It's not just going to be -5. It's not just going to be +5. It's going to be both. All right, let's see how we actually get to that answer. Well done, Neil. I'm going to take my -5 over to the other side. I'm going to end up with 25 is equal to x squared. Now, I know if I want to get rid of a squared, I'm going to take the square root. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And therefore, my x must be equal to plus or minus 5. Remember, guys, if I take 5 and I square it, that's going to give me 25. But if I take -5 and I also square it, that also gives me 25. So when I take the square root, I need to have plus or minus -5. Okay, give me a thumbs up if this question makes 100% sense. Have you guys got me? Beautiful, guys. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Now let's go to the next question. Remember, guys, this question down here is connected to this function. This question is connected to this function. Now, what do they want us to replace h of x with? In this equation, what do they want us to replace h of x with? That's okay, Pascal. Good, Funzo. They want us to replace the whole of h of x with 6x minus 14. Correct. So we're going to, in the place of h of x, we're going to put 6x minus 14. So my new equation will read 6x minus 14 is equal to x squared minus 5. Now I'm gonna run into a problem because now I have an x squared and an x to solve for. But we've seen this before. Which other equation, what do we call that equation where we have to solve for an x squared and an x? Yes, Tyrika, beautiful. Yes, it is a quadratic, right? It's a quadratic. And when we solve for a quadratic, correct, Funzo, a trinomial or a quadratic, what do we need to do? We need to take everything over to one side and make the other side equal to what? Correct, Bonolo, yay. That's it, Asbonge. We need to make the one side equal to 0. So I'm gonna give you guys a chance to do that. Pop your answers in the chat. Oh my goodness, Makati, I didn't even finish my sentence. How? I didn't even get to finish my sentence, dude. How? Maybe I should have said pop an emoji in the chat. Okay, Makatsi, let's wait for everybody. Nico and Makatsi, let's wait for everybody to catch up. Let's give everybody else 2 minutes, but you guys are doing fantastic. How? Guys, okay, never mind. I was gonna wait, but it seems like everybody's done. Ooh, 1 second. All right, guys, let's have a look at this question. Let's see what everybody's done. Now, I know without a doubt that I want my x squared to stay negative and to stay positive. So instead of, I know I am going, hi, Patu, hello. Oh my goodness, where have you been? All right, so I know that I want my x squared to remain positive. Right, so I'm going to take my 6x and my negative 14, take them over to the other side. I'm going to end up with x squared minus 5 minus 6x plus 14 is equal to 0. You can also put the 0 on this side. It doesn't make a difference. You can put it whichever side you want. All right. Oh, okay, I see. All right, and then I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to get x squared minus 6x plus 9 is equal to 0. For those of you who are really, really, really good at math, you're going to notice that this is a perfect square. But for those of you who don't see it, I'm going to open 2 brackets. Okay. I'm going to get an x here, an x there. And then I'm going to get a negative in one. And I know that a negative times something will give me a positive. So I'm going to put a negative. So negative and a negative will give us that positive there. I need factors of 9 that are going to give me 6 when added or subtracted from each other. They must give me negative 6. I'm going to have 3 and 3. That means that x minus 3, I only have to write one of them because they're the same thing. X minus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to, just take that negative 3 over to the other side, x is equal to 3. All right, thumbs up. Is everybody with ma'am? Are we together? Beautiful. These are the types of questions we want to pick up all our marks on, guys. All of these kinds of questions. All right, let's jump into the big guns. Okay, here is your first sketch. All right, let's go for it, peeps. I'm going to give you guys some pointers as we go along. Remember, whenever we are looking at hyperbolas, we know we've got one thing, 2 things that we need to look for. Number 1, our asymptotes. And number 2, our intercepts. Okay, find me these things and you'll be able to draw my graph for me. Before we continue, I'm going to ask you guys, my A over here, the A of my graph is positive, which means my hyperbola is going to be drawn in 2 quadrants. What quadrants are those? What are my 2 quadrants, peeps? Good. Nico, no question mark. You are 100% sure. It's not first and third question mark. No, it is first and third quadrant. Because you know, you don't guess, we know. And I know you know. Good. All right. Yes, point blank period. Now I'm missing Slay Queen. I'll catch up with her soon. All right. Okay, guys, take it away. Pop your favorite emoji in the chat once we're done. Okay, again, if you don't know what to do, pop me a message in the chat. I'm happy to help. Like I said, interesting YouTube videos. I know, Nico, and I didn't even get to experience life, guys. Teacher Nels, you've been called out.
Ma'am said the big guns. It wasn't me.
Oh, is it because I said I'm bringing out the big guns? Oh.
Yeah.
So teacher Nelly just brought out the big guns for me. How, guys?
Yeah. Now we have to do asymptotes. You didn't have to do that with straight line graphs, so it's like the big guns. That's why.
It is the big guns, yeah. Agreed. Absolutely, Cassidy, I'm happy to. All right, let's start with our asymptotes. Okay, so we know that our asymptotes are where our graph is not going to be defined. So Cassidy, tell me, what value can x not be equal to? X cannot be equal to what? Everybody can answer this question as well if they're happy to. Correct, good. Cassidy, in this point, in this case, x cannot be 0. Why can x not be equal to 0, guys? What happens if we make x 0? My function becomes what? Correct. Good, Asbonge and Nico. My function becomes undefined. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my graph, and on the x-axis where x is equal to 0, I'm going to go and draw a vertical asymptote. So I know that my two hyperbolas cannot cross the x is equal to 0 line, right? Now, there's another asymptote. This is my x asymptote. What is my y asymptote going to be? My y asymptote is going to be -1, correct. In this case, Cassidy, you were correct, -1. So we know that our horizontal asymptote is going to be at -1. My graph can also not cross -1. Okay. Right there. Good. Those are the asymptotes taken care of. Y asymptote and x asymptote. Now we're done with the asymptotes. Let's go look for the intercepts. Okay. Okay. Focus, close bracket, focus. Okay, let's look at our asymptotes. Oh, sorry, our intercepts. So if I go y-intercept, x is equal to 0, I'm going to have y is equal to 2/0 minus 1. Do I have a y-intercept? Yes or no? No, I don't like that question mark at the end of your question, Asbonge. It's a yes or no question. Do I have a y-intercept, guys? No. Asbonge says no. What do the rest of you say? Jenna also says no. What do we say, peeps? Okay. I'm going to agree with Asbonge and Jenna because I know for a fact, correct, Nico, that this is going to make my function undefined. So we do not have an intercept at y. We do not have a y-intercept, so no y-intercept. But let's try for our x-intercept. Let's see. If I look for my x-intercept, y is going to equal to 0. So I'm going to replace f of x, which is the same thing as y. I'm going to replace that part with 0. So I'm going to have 0 equals 2/x minus 1. And now I'm going to solve for x. What's my first move? What's my first move? Correct, Asbonge. Yo, Asbonge, you're on fire today. Just like ba, 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 doing the things. Good. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take -1 over to the other side and make it positive. So I'm going to end up with 1 is equal to 2/x. Right. By inspection, what do I need to divide 2 by to get an answer of 1? What would my x value be equal to? X is equal to yes, multiply both sides by x, but Nico, you're 100% correct. Right, x times 1. Oh, yeah, look what I've done now. Okay, these two will cancel, and x times 1 is just going to give me x. X is equal to 2. Good, so we can go to our x graph, and we can put an intercept at x is equal to 2 over there. And now I can draw my two graphs. I'm going to do that. Yeah, lele, there goes teacher Coco again. Okay, focus, focus, focus. You don't touch my asymptote. No. Ah, that's not fair. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Yeah, it's good enough. I think my artistic name is going to be good enough. That's my artistic name. It's good enough. Good enough. Okay. And then remember quadrant 3 as well. Down here. Hi, Joe. So good. Goes like it's giving Zimbabwe. I still going. All right. Give me a thumbs up if everybody followed ma'am's steps. Yes, correct, Nico. Because we should know what the general graph of a hyperbola will look like. Okay. All we're trying to do is find points that we should that we can use. Who just said that? We should find an artist for ma'am. Ha, offensive. Y'all are so nasty. Thank you, Leo. Yeah, you guys, you don't have money, so just leave me to draw, guys. Leave me to draw. It's fine. We'll be fine, guys. You will survive my drawings. Teacher Nels, did you see that? Maybe you must draw for me. Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
Teacher, the question, Teacher Nelly, is can you draw? Let's just not.
No, it was a statement that maybe teacher else can draw for you.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, let's look at the next one. All right, what kind of graph do we have here at B? What kind of graph is this, guys? A what? What do we call this graph? I want to see if anybody was paying attention when we did it at Watobe. It's not an exponential, Funzo. It's a correct, Makatsi. Or as we call it at Watobe, we call it a parabola. A parabola. Because it looks like a bowl. Okay. Parabola. All right. Now, when it comes to the parabola, we're going to have two things. This time, we're not going to have an asymptote. We are going to have a turning point, and then we're going to have intercepts. Those are the two things we're going to have. In a hyperbola, we have asymptotes and intercepts. In a parabola, we have turning points and intercepts. All right. Now, we can already tell from our graph, what is our turning point? Oh, sorry, from our function. What is our turning point? Good. Part 2, that is our y value. What is our x value? What is our x value, peeps? Correct, part 2, 100%. It is 0. So we know that our turning point is defined by that function and 0. So we're going to make that point over there. 0, 8. There's our turning point. Right, good. Now, because our graph cuts the y-axis at the turning point is also our y-intercept. So we don't have to calculate for our y-intercept. Which intercept do we still need to find though? Which intercept is missing?
X-intercept.
Good, I heard that now. Well done, the x-intercept. So we're going to go and look for the x-intercept. X-intercept, y is equal to 0. Now remember, g of x is y. So we're going to replace the whole of y with 0. Cassidy's like the EPX intercept. You guys are just making up words now. All right, so here we go. We're going to say 0 equals negative 2x squared plus 8. Who knows what our next step is? What is our next step? Ooh. No worries, no problem. What's our next step, guys? I know it was a typo, Cassidy. Good, we're gonna move the 8 to the other side. Well done. Transport, aye, guys. Nell, do you wanna help me finish this question? Let's do it together.
Hello, man.
Hello, my boy. Okay. Tell me what to do next.
We move a to the other side, which is it
Good.
gonna make it negative a?
Good.
Since
So
it's
I'm going to have
positive.
negative 8 is equal to negative 2x squared. What's my next move?
Don't we like divide it by negative 2?
Correct. Yes, we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. Good. Divide by negative 2. Then I'm going to get, what do I get on this side?
It's gonna be 4 and 2x squared.
Good. Next step.
Square root, man.
Good. We're going to square root. Good. Therefore, x is equal to what? What is the square root of 4?
2.
Yeah, is it 2? Is it 2?
Hey, man. Whoa.
Or let me rather say, is it just 2? Is it only 2?
Nope. I don't think so.
What is it? It's not just 2. It's going to be
Plus minus 2.
correct. Plus or minus 2. Good.
Ish.
So those are my 2x intercepts. X is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to 2. So you are a genius. Well done, dude. Amazing
Thank you, man.
stuff. Ah, nicely done. All right.
Mas,
Now that tells me
what do they
My-
mean by turning
somebody,
point?
guys, remember to stay muted.
Cassidy has a question.
Who?
Cassidy.
Cassidy, what's your question, my sweetie?
Mas, the question I have is, what do they mean by turning points?
Turning point means where our graph, remember it's a parabola, so it's going to look like a bowl, my sweetie. It's going to look like that. Our turning point is that lowest point on our graph, if it looks like that, or if it looks like this, our turning point is going to be that highest point on the graph.
Okay, thank you, Mas.
You're very welcome. All right. Okay, but sorry, let me put Nell's coordinates in here for us. -2, 2. All right, there we go. Now, Nell has given us our intercepts. Sorry, I just want to move them, make them look a little bit better. My OCD is kicking in. And 2. Good. But we know because this front number over here is a -2. Is my graph going to be smiling or frowning? Is it going to smile or frown? Happy or sad? Sad. Good. It's a sad graph. Good. It's a frowny graph. So it will turn like that. And over to the other side. The right side is always a problem. I just feel like my hands are not symmetrical, but I did the things. I did the things this time. All right, give me a thumbs up. Are we all happy with how to solve for parabolas? When I go, I'm actually from Limpopo. Watch it. Watch it. Okay, beautiful. Hi, Victoria. Excellent. It does. Fair. That's fair. I'll take that criticism. Thanks, Teacher Nels. All right, here's our last challenge for the evening. We are given that h of x is equal to -1 over x plus 1, and k of x is equal to 2 multiplied by 1 over 3 to the power of x minus 2. Let's talk. What kind of graph is h of x? It's a what? Good, Nico. This is a hyperbola. Excellent. This is a hyperbola. And this one with the x in the power, what kind of graph is that? An EPO. Good, Jenna and Funzo. Yes, it's an exponential graph. Good. It's an exponential graph. An expon. Yes, an expon. Okay, good. Right. Now, they've already drawn the graphs for us, so there's no need for us to draw the graphs. So all we're going to do, guys, is we're going to interpret them. All right, here is your set of questions. Okay, I'm gonna make them a little bit smaller, and I'm gonna put them alongside my graphs. Okay, give me a second. Let's do this. All right, we're gonna move you over to the other side. Hey, give me a thumbs up if you can see the questions and the graphs. Are we all happy? Just want to make sure you guys can see everything. Excellent. Funzo has given me the green light. I'm going to leave you guys for a few minutes. We've only got a few minutes, so answer them as fast as you can. Again, if you don't know where to start, pop your message in the chat and we can have a conversation. Ooh, Kaliwe, I think you may have missed the boot camp, my sweetie, because we are doing the last lesson for boot camp this Saturday at 1 p.m. Okay, so I think you may have missed that last one. Oh, you've missed 2 of them already. So I'm not sure, Teacher Nels, will they allow her to join still? I think it might be late.
Yeah, but then you have access to the recorded lessons.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. That's fine. Okay, I'm gonna blow my nose again. Sorry, muting. Those bracket, that was super fast. Shoo. Yes, Nomaklubi, you sent a dot, just a dot. So I'm not sure what to make of that. No, Akwando, we do not burn books. Unfortunately, you can only burn them at the end of matric because you need them all the way until matric. Grade 10 is also part of matric. Sorry to burst your bubble. Ah, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. You move so quickly. And yeah, you guys are the best people. Well done. Okay, let's look at these questions. We have 2 minutes left. Let me just double check something because I feel like something terrible has happened here. Okay, it's not terrible, but it's fine. Yeah, no, Mahlubi, I think it might just be you, my sweetie. I'm not sure because other people have been able to see the questions. So I'm not 100% sure. Okay. All right, let's look at the first one. The first one says here, list the domain of h of x. What is the domain again? What values are we looking for when they ask for the domain? What values? The good, Funzo, excellent. The x values. Right, and we know that h of x is going to be defined everywhere. We're going to say that x is an element of all real numbers, except x cannot equal what number? Correct, Moeketsi, good. X cannot be equal to 0. I can put this in set builder notation. All right, if I had put it in interval notation, I was going to write x is an element of round brackets, negative infinity, round brackets, oh, sorry, I'm lying, semicolon. I know, Neo, me too, I'm also semicolon 0, round brackets. That union with 0, not included, all the way up to infinity, round brackets. So you would get your 2 marks for each of these. Real numbers, or the interval notation. Whichever one, you will get your 2 marks there. All right, list the range of k of x. What do we know about k of x, guys? K of x is the exponential. We know that the range is what values? Ooh, my brain is switching off. Range is the y values, good. So we know that y is going to be an element of all real numbers, except y must be what? No, Funzo, you're almost there though. Must be what to -2? It's a positive graph, guys. So it's a positive exponential. So we know that it's moving upwards. But because it has an asymptote at -2, my graph needs to be greater than -2. Okay, it needs to be greater than -2. So my asymptote tells me that it must be above the graph. It's this one here, that one there, not less than, Nyeleti, it must be greater than. Okay, that sign that you've put there is greater, is less than. Okay, greater than -2. Teacher, now I'm going to ask you to pop the link to the quiz in the chat while we still speak. All right, now it says here, the graph of h of x is shifted up by 2 units. What is the equation of the new graph? Guys, which asymptote is going to be affected here? The x or the y asymptote if my graph is shifted up by 2 units? Which asymptote is affected, the x or the y? Not the x, Nico. Remember, the x is always just going to be x. The y asymptote is going to be affected. Correct. So the rest of my graph is going to look exactly the same. I'm just going to have h of x is equal to -1 over x, except now I have to go +1 +2 because it's been shifted 2 units up. Okay. It's been shifted 2 units up. So that part over there is now going to be -1 over x +3. All right. 1 mark for, actually, you're just going to get 2 marks for writing the correct equation if you skip that part. All right. And then it says, if the graph of k of x is reflected about the x-axis, give the new equation of the graph. Now, here is my x-axis, guys. This is my x-axis. Funzo, there was already +1 there. There was already +1. So if I shift my whole graph up 2 units, 1, 2, there's where my new asymptote is going to be. Okay. All right. So if I reflect my exponential graph about the x-axis, it's no longer going to sit on this side, it's going to sit that way. Right. Which means that my values will no longer be 1 over 3. My values are going to be inverted, which means this number over here also needs to be inverted. So what's my new equation going to be? What am I going to get? I'm going to get q of x is equal to, instead of 1 over 3, I'm going to get 2 times 3 over 1 to the power of x minus 2. Or we can just say 3 divided by 1 is just 3. So we can just put 3. All right, and that's the final answer.